Alright, YouTube. So I got my computer fixed, but JD, as far as I can tell, hasn't been really posting anything prison related. So I figured I'd post kind of something I've been doing in the community. This picture is of a child abuser. He beefed a 10-year-old. And in 22, he started working at the mini mart down the street from me I live right next to a school, a middle school, and he was working in a mini mart like 2 blocks down from it. And like I had no clue who that guy was or about him until the other worker quit his job, and I found out it was because this dude is a convicted or was charged with molestation. And the other dude just couldn't stand it, took him in the back room and was like, dude, you need to leave. He's like, no. So he just left. He wasn't trying to get in any trouble. He's an ex-con. So I eventually found his paperwork and started showing it to everybody. And eventually this one guy started working there named DJ Zach Zombie. This guy had been to prison in Arizona. And like once I told him about that, he was thoroughly done with it. Like he kept telling management, but management wouldn't do nothing. And his boss just kept saying, well, he was never convicted. It doesn't, the point is they dropped the friggin' charges because of the pandemic. He got charged in 2019. And then right in 2020 was when he was in jail facing the charges. And they dropped them probably because the jail system, the courts, everything was shut down during the pandemic lockdown, so they couldn't charge nobody, so they just let him out. That doesn't normally happen. A lot of the times these people do take some time. But anyways, he finally got to the management kids and showed them this exact report right there. A 28-year-old man was arrested Tuesday for allegedly abusing a 10-year-old, according to court documents. Well, he got kicked out the T-Mart. I'm not going to say the whole rest of the situation because it might get somebody else hemmed up, but needless to say, nothing really happens to people in prison. But once in a while, you have a stray Californian gang member that rolls through the area and finds out about that stuff and is not cool with it and actually does something. Needless to say, the dude came back to the T-Mart looking like a freaking raccoon like he'd got ran over by a Mack truck. And he wanted a job. And the manager's kids was there, so they told him, no, you can't work here no more, goes DJ. Zach saw him and he shows him that. They didn't know what the word pedo, the full word for pedo meant. So they got their parents and he showed him that exact report I just showed you. And they told him, take his key away. He is never allowed back here ever again. Well, sure enough, I'm going back for my doctor's appointment to see my psychologist. I walk into the store to get like a Gatorade or a Powerade because it was hot out. It's summer. And there he is working there like 25 feet away, right around the corner from the high school. I'm like, no, this cannot stand. This dude has got a pattern now. He was charged with beefing a 10-year-old, and he likes being in mini-marts right next to schools where lots of kids congregate. That's his shtick. I was not down with that. I recognized him, like, is your name blah, blah, blah? And he's like, yeah, how do you know me? And I was like, oh, I've heard of you. And he's like, oh, and he just kind of laughed it off. And I walked out. Well, I went to the other Buy 2 Mart down the street from me that doesn't have an actual mini mart in it. It's just a gas station now. But I talked to the guy there, and he actually knew the boss for that mini mart. So I got up the very next day at 9 o'clock to went there and showed the guy that friggin' paperwork on him. I told him it's kind of suspect that this guy keeps getting jobs right next to schools when he's been charged with that kind of a charge. Like, yeah, it is. Thank you for telling me that. He's like, I'm going to have a strong talk with him because he can't work here no more with those kind of charges against him, whether they were dropped or not. I'm really going to have to talk to him about that. So he's no longer working next to the school. So I don't know what all these prison VTubers are all like saying they actually deal with chos and stuff. If a cho comes in my neighborhood, I will legitimately deal with them any way I can. I will do everything within my means to not put hands on them if that means I can get the manager to fire them from their store, or I can get homeless people to deal with them like I did the other one that I had paperwork on. I got him chased out the state. He got chased out of my town, went to the coast, got chased from the coast all the way back to the fucking state he came from. But, like, I'll do whatever it takes, short of putting hands on him, because I'm not trying to go back to prison. I mean, there is certain circumstances, like if my nephew, somebody beef my nephew, then yeah, I'm gonna snap and put hands on somebody. Or if somebody were to abuse my elderly parents, or my little sister, or my older sisters, yeah, then hands will be thrown. But I try and just keep it on the safe side nowadays. But I do deal with them. Like, I get them removed from stores where they're not supposed to be worked at. JD blows hard on YouTube and like, I'm getting shows kicked off YouTube. Dude, he's looking at YouTube videos and pictures of that shit, and he ain't going in his community, like, actively looking in stores near where he lives, like, oh, this dude's got bad charges. They're near a school. I'm going to do everything I can to get rid of him. I've done that, and I will continue to do that. And him and the other cho, that's two chos I removed from my neighborhood, completely removed them. And this guy's tried it twice, and I've got him removed twice from two different stores in my neighborhood. So all I can say is like when all those motherfuckers talk shit and say they're actually doing stuff, like, they ain't really doing nothing at all, you know? Like, they ain't about their shit. Anyways, that's it, YouTube. Like, I've just been working on the streets lately. Like, because my computer was broke and I finally got it fixed. Got the money to fix it. I fixed it. So there'll be more posts now, as long as my mental health holds up. But yeah, this is what I do when I find people lurking in areas they're not supposed to. I have them removed. Have a nice day, YouTube.